Yeah, Tauren, trolls, undead, gnomes, dwarves.
Yeah.
Orcs, humans, night elves, blood elves, goblins,
Do you have
Draenei,
Pandas as well.
pandas.
Do you have sub races inside of them?
There are not for players, but like in terms of the lore, yes, there are. There are like you've got your like Amani elves and like
Armani.
not
Yeah,
Armani, not
They're
Armani.
the fucking 1%.
The Giorgio
Fucking
Armani
bad.
elves. They smell really good.
Come on, man.
You got the Louis Vuitton elves.
Yeah, Hugo Boss elves.
Yep.
Ah.
The Hugo Boss fights are really. Hey, welcome to episode 66 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Blake
What's up?
and Saveun.
Hey, man.
How's it going? This is episode 66, almost the Devil's episode. We're about 600 episodes off, but we're getting there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. So what's new? What have you guys been playing? Anything cool? Let's start with you, Saveun. Let's start with
ooh.
you.
I'm always going first, man. But
So
okay.
Saveun, let's start with you.
I played. I'm playing Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1
Yeah.
As in,
I told
like,
you. I told you
from
the last.
1997 or 8 or whatever it was.
No,
The first one.
no, no. The new Battlefield 1.
Oh, so from 1998 or 99, the one that came out after that.
The last year's version.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
the
right.
remastered.
Yeah,
Oh.
the HD one.
Yeah, the HD Battlefield
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, it's good. It looks fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played that game.
The-
And I don't remember it looking so damn good.
What do you-
DICE does great work with their engines,
Mm.
and then no one else seems to be able to use those engines very well.
The
Have you
thing
noticed
is-
that?
I can't think of another game that uses their engine.
They've. I mean, I remember when. I don't
You're talking
remember-
about this Frostbite?
Yeah.
There's soccer games that use it, isn't there?
Doesn't FIFA?
I'm
or
so sure
something?
there's soccer games that you. I mean,
yeah.
I mean
thought,
football games.
I thought
that
they had
use
an
it.
animation system. Like that was their ant animation system.
It might be, but I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, they did have some crazy like dynamic animation stuff happening with people jumping over other people and stuff. That stuff's cool.
Yep.
But I'm so sure that the whole thing is inside Frostbite, or at least it was. Maybe a few years ago when I heard about this and
It
vaguely
was,
remember about it.
I think it was like 2011 or 2012 when
Oh, that's ages ago then.
when the Battlefield with like the really fancy Frostbite. It was at
Yeah.
that point like an extremely advanced
Oh,
engine.
that was the one with the exploding buildings and everything, right?
Yeah, around that era.
I remember there was a E3 thing with like
Yep.
a tank just like driving through a building.
Levolution?
and- yeah,
The-
yeah.
I remember playing at E3.
Yeah.
I played that, and it looked beautiful, and it was like we were really excited to see what other people would do with the engine.
Oh yeah,
And then just
nobody
no
did anything.
No one used it. But I remember
Well,
at
is
that
that-
E3 they were
is-
talking about the engine a lot.
Is
That
that
was the focal
because-
point.
Is that because no one wants to use it, or is like EA just stingy with handing in?
So no, I suspect it's like probably pretty tricky to use. Like you can create an engine purpose built for your game. Like I mean, we've done that,
Yep.
right? And then you can't necessarily. You're not probably going to license out your first person shooter engine to competing first person shooters, except I guess
Unless
Epic
you made a
does.
real good deal.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but
Yep.
it certainly looked pretty. one
I
else
think
seems to
I
be
think
much of it.
documentation would be really rough to keep up to date when you
Yeah.
license an engine.
Well, this is the other.
Oh, dude, just documentation within our own company.
Yeah, I
as
know.
well,
I know.
man.
That's what I was thinking of. I was like, shit.
I heard.
Wait, there's documentation.
No, we're
maybe?
working on it. Did you, man? I can't remember if I was telling you this bullshit business term that I heard for how we, like in air quotes, document stuff.
We at Groningen?
Yeah, and
No.
it's all. This is the business term. It's all tribal knowledge.
Who said this?
I don't remember, but I heard it somewhere.
Passed down through word
Yeah.
of mouth.
And I've just been spreading it around because it's
Tribal
like-
knowledge.
Because I really hate business speech, so I'm using it.
Yeah, it's we
Yuck.
all of our tools, how to use all the tools is passed down through song from generation to generation. So a lot of people don't know that. How does the song go, Blake?
Oh,
There once was a man. No, I don't know.
Battlefield
it's hard
1
to-
is doing
I mean-
good.
Problem is, like even if you have good documentation,
Yeah,
first of all, someone has to maintain it, and then
yeah, keep it up to date.
you have to have people who want to read it. And our company doesn't have a particularly high employee turnover. And so you may teach something to someone one time and then never again. And so having that like in a document, spending the time to write that out and then like upkeep it and stuff, is it actually worthwhile? In some cases, yes, but like in a low turnover position.
But I think you get to a certain size with a company, and it's just easier to do that because otherwise people are going around saying, "How do you do this? How do you do that?" And it's like, "Oh, someone told me this, someone told me that," and then somewhere along the way, someone says something wrong, and then that just keeps going.
Of course, I mean, you should. I don't know. I'm of the opinion that showing and doing with the person rather than just handing them a document is
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
to
But
go.
it also helps. Like when I first
Oh,
started, like Saveun, you showed me how to do all the tile stuff, but there was also a 1-page document on like the tile stuff, which I referred to instead of turning around and saying, "How do you do this? How do you do this?" Because it was just all written down. But that 1-page thing is all we've had for 5 years.
Yeah.
Has it changed at all?
It's the super most basic stuff for tiles, but like there's new stuff that had come along that is not in there at all.
Right. So why don't you fill it out?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Cool.
The thing,
Got it on tape. Blake's gonna start documenting.
I've heard the same kind of criticism towards like Unreal 4 engine documentation. Apparently, it's garbage.
Interesting. Well, so talking about Unreal Engine 4, I remember, and this links back to what we were talking about with Frostbite. People would complain that Epic Games was late to push Unreal Engine updates out to everyone else before, like they would be creating and using these updates and then launching games with all of this new tech and then giving it to everyone.
Huh.
Which made everyone basically feel like they were behind the curve.
I feel like that's changed.
Yeah, this was a few years ago.
Okay.
But
Because
I wonder
now-
if there's something similar going on with like Frostbite and all of these other like the like Cry Engine. That those games always look beautiful, but how many games use Cry Engine really?
Yep. Just Star Citizen, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Star Citizen's using it.
Only that one game.
Is
They're probably absorbed like Crash.
Man.
actually they probably have. Isn't like Amazon's Lumberyard like based on Crytek? Do you guys know anything about that thing?
I heard it was like an early version of it.
I don't know what Amazon's Lumberyard
Yeah,
is.
they have their own like game engine that I don't know what games have been made on it, but I've seen them like advertising it somewhere, and it's called Lumberyard.
Is it just a bunch of trees? Is it one of those tree
Oh no,
paint
it's not
brush
trees at
things?
all. It's a
a yard, man.
lumberyard.
Oh, okay.
The trees have been processed.
It's a lumber.
Yeah, the
And then
Amazon
put down in
forest
a
has
yard.
been processed into usable lumber.
And then pulped into books.
Yep.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
But I think a lot of people that went into the engine game kind of were much like VR, sort of
Like the game engine game.
the game engine game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of are pulling away from it. Like Autodesk kind of didn't really, they had a thing called like Stingray or some
Oh
shit.
yeah, they did too. Yeah, yeah.
And, it was a big push. Like I even spoke to a guy, I remember at like those game developer meetups here in
Yep.
Auckland. And he was talking about it. But now you don't really hear anything. Like, they're not even promoting it.
It's like there was a kind of Wild West time of game engines where everyone had a game engine, and only a few have kind of like come out of that.
Yeah, it's still Unreal and Unity that
Yeah.
everyone's talking about.
Yeah, but Unreal even more so than it used to be. Like,
Gamebryo.
Gamebryo.
oh man, our student project at Media Design School was using the Gamebryo engine, and it had already been discontinued when we were using it.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't like Elder
Skyrim.
Scrolls
Yeah.
Online still use Gabriel for stuff?
No, maybe they do. They use like they were talking about this for like Skyrim, how it was a brand new engine, but it wasn't.
It was Gabriel.
It was still
plus,
Gabriel, but it was
basically.
like it was Gabriel 2.0 basically that they themselves had then built on
Gabriel
top
has
of.
stopped working on their engine,
Yeah.
so we've just started improving it. and
Yes,
now
yeah, they're just
calling
working
it our
with
own.
it. Yeah, but then they'll call it something brand new and say it's not Gabriel anymore.
Source. People still use Source, mainly Valve, but Source is still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Half-Life 3 when?
Yeah, the Battlefield 1, like their environments and the rendering looks really cool. Like, that kind of stuff. I think anything with like smoke and some god rays,
Oh man, you love those god rays.
they're awesome, man.
I don't believe in God rays though. So
What's that?
said I don't believe in God rays.
But they're
I suppose they're just light passing through a cloud to you, aren't they?
They're atheist rays
Ah.
to me. Science rays.
but they're like character faces from EA have always sort of looked the same. Have you felt that same thing?
Yeah, like is this like a Pixar sort of thing?
Oh no,
like
it's definitely in the valley.
right. Okay, as in like they're trying to go for realistic, but they keep missing.
Yeah, it's sort of there, but not quite.
Yeah. I mean, so what I remember is like, Mass Effect 3.
Mm.
The faces in that game were looking pretty good, and then Andromeda came out.
Dude, I don't think
That felt like a big backward step.
I remember the faces in Mass Effect. They looked okay, but they still had that rubber mask look.
Oh, of course.
I've got a theory about that, man. You
Yeah?
know how like makeup for like standard definition TVs was like news anchors just look really hot like standard diff, and then everything reached the HD,
Yep.
and then it was like things changed.
Yeah, you can see every pore.
Yeah, and it was like gross.
Yeah,
Reminds me of. Have you guys seen 30 Rock?
I was just thinking
Yeah.
of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it a thing?
Yeah, where they switched to like HD or something, and then I think they were actually different actors or something. We're just
Well,
like,
in one of them, it was like Alec Baldwin's like youngest brother or something,
yeah.
and then one of them was like Liz Lemon covered in like weird warts and.
But I
And then,
definitely think that happened with last gen
Yeah,
when you were going for like 720p upscaled to 1080, and then
it just looked better.
yeah, because you
'Cause it was
kind of just
blurrier.
like it was that blur, man.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know that I 100% agree with that. I think at least what it looked like to me with Andromeda is they tried to actually move away from realistic faces a little bit. They had some slightly exaggerated features like larger mouths and larger eyes and stuff. But then
Oh
know.
wait,
They didn't move far enough because they
No.
still kept it looking human. But you're like, man, that human has like a mouth.
yeah,
One
also
and
the
a half times
animations were
larger than
obviously a
normal.
big problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just giving a broad stroke for like going from that to that.
Yeah,
but
right.
to
Yeah.
comment specifically on Andromeda, they
Yeah.
dropped the ball.
Yeah, they really
hard.
did.
And it was interesting seeing their other what was it called? Not marathon, like something else that they were working on that actually had pretty decent looking faces.
Mm.
Oh, Anthem.
Anthem, yeah.
Yeah.
I always think marathon, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that game looked really good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've seen Anthem.
No, you would have. They showed it at E3, and then like it's like people in like little.
It
mech
looked like
suits and-
really Flash Destiny.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right,
It had a bit of a
right,
Destiny
right.
vibe.
Yep. Now I remember.
It had the-
Yeah,
it had the
EA's
real-
Destiny. I remember. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it had the real
Exactly it.
convincing like multiplayer chat.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check out what's over here. That sort of.
Hey guys,
Bro,
oh,
help
sweet
me out.
rocket launcher, bro!
Guys, I'm reloading.
Watch out for those dead bodies.
Oh man.
I remember one E3 where they were really going heavy on that. I think it was for that Badlands. I think it was for, and they were doing the multiplayer voice chat, and they were whispering to each other because they were sneaking through a thing. All right, we got to go through here. And then the person in the lead is like, all right, watch your footing here. There's some loose... And it's like, it's a video game. You don't have to worry about like loose footing or whispering or anything. Like, what are you doing?
I don't think there's a good way to ever do that live on stage.
No, the good way is to actually get people to.
Yeah.
I never played your game to play your game.
I preferred...
legitimately.
I did prefer... Like, we definitely talked about this, but I did prefer when Horizon did it and it just had the character talking. Do you remember that? Where she was hiding
do. I
hiding in
hated
the
it.
bush and she's like, go away, animal. Go
Oh,
away.
right. The guy was just playing it And
yeah,
not-
the dude's just playing it, not saying anything,
Yeah.
and the character is just saying what's happening in the world.
Mm.
And people were like, "Oh man, if she's talking to you all the time like that, that's going to get annoying." But like, I
It
think
was for the E3
we
demo.
could. It was a pretty good guess that it was just for the demo that they were showing it like that.
I hated that.
I
But I did not like the dialogue.
so
in
you'd
the
rather
game in
him being
general.
like, "Oh, sweet shot, bro."
No. What? When there's an E3 where like one of the players teabags one of the other players, then I'll be on board with it. Like that's
when they have real chat, that's like,
Yeah.
you
Just
fucking
get-
noob.
just get Twitch chat on there.
Yeah. You hear some like noise in somebody's room in the background of like someone yelling at someone because they're just
Mom, go
Yeah.
away!
Yeah, I'm
Go
playing.
away, Mom!
I'm playing Anthem.
I'll do it later. I'll clean my room later. Yeah,
that would be great.
that would be a good E3 one.
So I think the big news for me was the trailer that dropped 2 days ago.
Oh, for
What do you got, man?
the
the Witcher in Wild
no,
West.
the disaster artist, right? That one?
Disaster?
Yeah, the disaster artist. Good looking movie.
I'm looking forward to that.
Looking forward to that. So we'll move on. No, we'll talk about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
Saveun's favorite ever trailer.
Yeah.
Until the next until the next
Until the
Rockstar
next
trailer,
one.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it as well. It looks cool.
Cool. Yeah. I don't really want to say too much. I think I said. Well, I think it's cool.
What do you think is cool about it?
Everything looks better.
We talked a little bit about this at work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring up that rope.
That rope.
Oh,
Got to talk about that rope.
you on
Guys.
ropes?
Yes,
Nick
me and
doesn't
ropes.
like how weapons.
I
work.
don't
Nick-
like
in
ropes
video
that
games.
behave like magic.
If anyone remembers, Nick had a real problem with the ropes in Horizon as
Yep.
well. Like you're a real stickler for ropes.
I am. If you're gonna have rope-based mechanics in your game, make the ropes behave like ropes. Don't make them, especially if you're going for like gritty realism, which Red Dead is definitely doing. If it's a magic sci-fi rope, sure, but then again, like in Horizon, it was like meant to be a magic sci-fi rope that still didn't behave like
A magic sci-fi
like that.
rope.
Well, it was like you shoot the thing and then you shoot the ground, and it doesn't really matter which direction the thing moves in. I don't know. It was that. In that trailer, it was real silly looking.
You know, I think there was a very big step, like graphically, between this trailer and the previous one.
Okay.
Just from observation. I don't know how you guys feel.
I don't know. I thought the last one looked pretty good as well. But the last one was just sort of like little shots of like, here's a storefront, here's a dog eating a
Yep.
dead buzzard.
There's a
or
lot of
something.
establishing shots
Yeah,
where this
yeah.
one had some close-ups.
I remember the
It had
wildlife
some
running around.
story stuff in it too. Like you're playing like you got a sense of like who that main character is going to be, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. An asshole.
Yeah.
It looks
Well,
like-
it's the Wild West.
Wait,
That's
in a
everyone,
Rockstar
right?
game, you're playing as a villain? Hang on. I don't
Get this, Nick.
Yeah.
Bad dude.
No.
Guns.
What?
Yeah.
In a Rockstar game?
Yeah.
Will there be like things that like you can get into or onto to move around, like some sort of like vehicle?
Like a horse.
But like, yeah, maybe
Into.
like a horse. Yeah,
I don't know what.
like a bantha.
I need,
you know?
need
like,
to talk
yeah.
to you about how you ride horses.
It's really cold, and so you cut your horse open and you get inside.
Outside of the rope thing, what do you think of the trailer? You know what? Did you play Red Dead 1?
I played about an hour of Red Dead 1.
So you went into it.
Well, I just didn't own it. And I had a fun time, and I liked collecting herbs.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. I don't know what I was going to do with them, but that's the thing. Like it made me long for more Skyrim-y gameplay. And you know, if it's got like that sort of open world, go anywhere, do anything, harvest stuff, make stuff appeal, I'm interested.
Wait, I thought you didn't like that.
No, I do like a little more structure. Like I like more structure than Minecraft provides.
Right.
Which is why Skyrim, I think, clicked with me so hard.
Right.
And it probably clicked with a lot of people for the same reason. Is
Yeah.
there's enough structure that you could bounce between points of interest, but then enough interesting stuff scattered throughout the world that you could just, when you wanted to, go off and do something that was of your own creation. And so if from that perspective, I think I need to see more of what Red Dead has to offer.
Do you know anything about? Because wasn't there like a poster with like 7 silhouettes on it or something? And I remember hearing some rumor that like, oh, because in GTA you had 3 characters, and this you're going to be playing 7.
I was thinking about that.
The Magnificent Seven.
It'd be cool if you could do that.
Yeah.
Would
Like,
Yeah, Magnificent 7. It'd be
hear me out. Here's the mechanic, fellas.
Okay.
Let me describe it.
Zoom out.
just purely from nothing. Yeah. You zoom out.
No
and
way.
You embody a dude.
Holy moly!
Right.
Like a ghost.
But while you're like playing as that guy,
Yeah.
the other 6 are just like doing like they're basically the Sims characters, and they're just going on
Oh
their
right.
merry way.
So
And
they're getting stuck in like kitchens. And...
much like Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah. And then you just play.
That would be cool. But is 7 too many characters to be controlling
I
yourself?
think so.
But
think
you've
so.
gotta like hold up trains and stuff. There's a
Yeah.
lot of carriages to kind of keep
Would
under
it be?
control.
Would you be disappointed if you only played as one character in this?
I would, just because they gave 3 in the previous.
Right.
Rockstar game.
This is bullshit. This is.
So what you think? Like 10 years from now, you'll be like 40 characters and a map the size of Australia, and
Oh man, that's a hell of a game.
I think at some point,
I don't think they have to keep one-upping themselves, but
but
3 is a good number.
3 is a good number.
I like that mechanic too of
Yeah.
like playing the person you wanted to play as.
And it also gives you like 3. You can have 3 distinct different personality types.
yep.
You know, 7 would be like, okay, what's the difference between number 4 and number 5? Like I don't.
Here's one thing I found for GTA 5, which is because I was able to hop between these characters, I never felt fully invested in any of them.
Huh.
If, for example, in GTA 5 you chose your character at the start of the game, and you played through that character's entire storyline, and the story intersects with the other 2 characters and stuff, and then like you unlock another one and you play through the game again as that character. That would be quite interesting to me, and I would like to see how that game feels then.
Sort of like a what would you call it? Like one of them nested story type like shows or books, right? Where it's like a
One
Like
person-
Pulp Fiction?
like a Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
yeah. Where it's
Exactly.
like the same timeline, but like different stories interweaving.
Exactly. I would be very curious to see how that game would have felt different if that had been the dynamic. I probably would have stuck around a lot longer, personally.
It also that doesn't really allow you well, I suppose it kind of does allow you, but not as easily as just jumping into what's his name and going on a rampage.
No, yeah, you can't. You don't get the freedom of like,
Yeah.
I'm
And that's
in
like
the,
a big part of GTA.
in the middle of the city now. I'm in the middle of the desert or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I mean, that was sort of their solution to quick travel to some degree, like. In Skyrim or whatever, you click where you want to go and you're just there. And in this, it's sort of like that. You quickly travel to where one of the characters is. You just don't really have much control over that. I would be curious to see. Has GTA ever done quick travel before? I don't
They got
think
taxis,
have.
don't they?
Yeah, and you can skip them. You can skip the ride.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah, but you then have to like hail a taxi, get into the taxi.
Yeah, but
pay
it's
the
all
driver.
in world
That's true.
bus travel.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You just want to be like in Zelda and like dematerialize and then rematerialize
Yes.
somewhere. That
exactly.
doesn't work for every game.
No, that's true. And actually, I don't want that. But I did love that in Zelda, the fact that you could go to your.
But
points of
again,
interest.
that was worked into the fiction of the game.
Yep.
Taxis are in the fiction of,
Yep.
of
It's true.
yeah.
So what you're basically saying is, GTA name is Rockstar's gonna make the next Zelda game. It's
Yes.
gonna be great.
Oh shit!
Would you play that Zelda game?
If
Saveun?
Rockstar made it,
Yeah.
I have so much faith in Rockstar that they wouldn't touch that properly.
Whoa.
I think we might have had the conversation before. Like, what if Rockstar came out with their own like fantasy Witcher type thing?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I think-
I'd be interested. It would be way, I think even more. You know how Witcher is like shades of grey. I think it'll be even darker shades of grey for a Rockstar.
Yeah, I guess it could
Yeah,
be just because like of the realism, the detail that they can achieve in their engine. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
That trailer was it's Rockstar's like first current gen game. It's
Right,
I'm
yeah.
really excited for it, and it just did everything I thought they would do. So, like visually.
I remember when we were talking about the next game probably being a Red Dead game like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are.
Yeah, it's because
2 years.
no, didn't you predict it because like you
Because
were
of
cactuses?
cacti?
I
It's
thought-
the cacti.
Yeah.
You're like,
I think
And
we
yo,
both
guys,
kind of.
yeah. I think
I read the tea leaves too.
I should intercut that clip from like episode 4 or something of the podcast
Are
where
they
you were
not
like,
talking about it?
yeah, you're like, man, GTA is there's a desert and there's cactus, so the next game
It's got to
Red
be.
Dead.
Yeah, that's exactly how I pinned it together as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it just they had to, man. It's been so long since like the last Red Dead.
I mean, they could have done another table tennis game.
That would have been interesting.
Do you reckon that they'll ever do an open world table tennis game?
They'll probably give you an open world where you can play table tennis in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that
Like in Red
makes
Dead.
more sense.
You go to a
With
saloon.
horseshoes.
Yeah.
Dry cow dung balls.
Yeah,
There's a bow and arrow in it.
Oh yeah, actually that looked pretty cool. Some hunting like that.
Yep.
Zelda had a bow and arrow.
Was there?
Oh,
there was a
seriously?
crocodile that ate a bear.
I don't know if it was a bear. I think it was a deer.
Oh,
But yeah, there was.
but there's like wildlife
swamp stuff.
eating itself. It's like a whole
It's not eating itself, Blake. There's.
Oh,
it's
nature's in it.
wildlife eating
nature.
oth-
Look,
yeah,
nature eats
animals eating-
itself all the time.
There are
Nature's-
snakes that sometimes bite their own tails and kill themselves.
Oh shit.
An Ouroboros.
Yeah,
There-
yeah.
there- that's There's the mythical Ouroboros.
They just yep.
Do you think? This is going to be like bigger than GTA 5
I
in
think
terms
so.
of sales numbers?
I don't know about that. I don't care about that either.
What about in terms of actual?
Scope.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks better, bigger in every way. Visually.
Yeah, it's got that shot right of them like on a mountain, and it's got like a full landscape shot. You don't usually do that unless it's like a real big open world.
I never really care about scale, like of the ground.
Yeah,
I like the detail.
yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like they have the detail that I'm after. To have that kid, Blake's got a freaking grin on his face. Do you have something to say?
No, I'm excited about this game. I don't know why.
Yeah, the detail looks good. Like a mate of mine took issue with lip sync, which I feel is like low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
for,
I was
like,
gonna say that.
anything right
That
now.
seems like the easiest shot for any criticism.
It's a
for
hot
any
topic right
game.
now, too.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about lip sync? Just show them Horizon.
But I think Rockstar's been pretty good, like in the past for
Yeah.
lip sync.
I thought I don't know. I think maybe people seem to really look at lips real hard and look at the lip sync, but I basically never notice lip sync unless it's truly bad,
Yeah,
like in Horizon.
is it really bad?
In Horizon,
Okay.
yeah,
Isn't The Witcher like that?
I don't notice it that bad.
Okay.
I don't look at lips, man. I ain't
Oh.
looking at
All right, okay.
staring at Geralt's lips all the time.
Okay. But yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Would you, if Rockstar made a sci-fi game, sci-fi open world game, that interest you?
I don't think they would do it because
not?
I think that they're still trying to capture like realism in good games,
They,
and making a sci-fi thing is a lot to come up with.
they could do I reckon they'd suit like that Blade Runner future that's like dirty and like street level and
That'd be cool.
Post-apocalyptic.
One that you
Yeah.
kind of could extrapolate from this at the present.
yeah.
Yeah, like I think coming up with like a Star Trek type universe
Yeah.
would be pretty far-reaching.
Anything that's too clean, I don't think is their thing. Anything where it's like, yeah, we've solved all racial problems and
Yeah.
poverty is non-existent. Like
Yeah.
this is not what Rockstar deals with.
And aliens all speak English.
Yeah, and they all look basically like humans. Like,
Yeah, I'm not good with that. I like what they've delivered so far, and
Yep.
it looks like this game will be more of that.
I'm definitely more interested in this than was in GTA 5. I liked GTA 5, but I never finished it.
Mm.
I got, I think, like 33% through or something.
Wow.
But I would probably play through this game.
Mm.
Just
You know,
'cause I'm
Just
much
because
I'm-
of the foraging and stuff?
pretty much, yeah. Just I like the. I mean, it's the same idea as Breath of the Wild, where it's just like big open landscape, and I can sort of do what I want
Mm.
to some degree, and do interesting things, and not have to like deal with traffic. Like that's
Oh,
so,
man.
or like, I ran a red and now the cops are after me. Great,
Yeah.
like that's.
What if you get into a town, you mosey on into a town, and like there's a bloody a horse traffic jam, and you're like, oh man,
You have to like make your horse neigh to speed it up.
And you dismount and you step in a horse plop.
Oh no.
I definitely like playing open world games just to see what developers put in. Like, to see an alligator, I'd like to see all the like things coming together for that alligator to actually attack a deer. Like, you're just looking at it, I don't know, through like a scope or something, and this alligator's just bobbing through the water, and this deer's just like picking at the ground at the edge of this lake. I'd like to just see that play out, and
you
like,
you just want to nature watch and see if it
Yeah.
actually does it, or if it's just
and if it's compelling, like
Yeah.
that execution.
So, what it sounds to me, Saveun,
Mm.
like you really value realism.
I do,
So,
especially in a video game.
why is that? Why?
Because you have to create everything. Like, people have to make everything in a virtual environment.
Sure.
You know that.
Yeah.
Models are, like, to pull off a really good model requires a lot of skill.
Yep.
Animation, that too.
But if for example, I mean, hypothetical. Let's say Red Dead took place in a fictional version of Earth, where all the animals were just not real animals. Like instead of the alligator, you had a raptor. Let's talk like it's a Horizon world. It's a robot alligator. Does that interest you less?
Yeah, I wasn't really too thrilled about Horizons.
So why is
Behavior.
that? If to me it seems more impressive to make something look natural that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, but Horizon doesn't even come close.
I'm not saying Horizon.
You mean
is the
like
example.
Horizon, because all the animals don't. There's no food chain.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. All the animals are just there, and they'll only attack you and not each other.
Yeah, Horizon has a really basic thing going on. I think the realism thing's really cool because we know we're anchored in it, so we know what to expect when an alligator attacks a deer.
Sure.
So I can see how that plays out.
This reminds me of why you changed your opinion about Breath of the Wild. And you told me about the talk that you watched about Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, they were talking about how they used science basics to create like a grounded baseline realism for the world.
It was called the chemistry engine.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
Fire creates hot air drafts that you can then use to fly into the air. That sort of thing. This sounds quite similar.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I love that. Like, I love that tech. It's things that people don't really think about, but when it's executed and done well, you get those really interesting behaviors like Zelda has. And Red Dead sort of has it for the kind of things that I enjoy playing and watching.
Sure.
So, yeah, it has that in spades. It's good because Rockstar has never let me down. They seem to get better, like with every new game. They're not taking these side development steps like Mass Effect or like Fallout games. They actually look better than the previous one.
Yeah, that Fallout.
They don't charge you for DLC. They're really good. As like a developer, it's really cool to see
They definitely do charge you for DLC though.
how GTA, Rockstar,
Yeah,
they haven't charged
they used to do DLC all the time and charge you for it.
like GTA 4.
Yeah,
They charge you for those two things and Undead Nightmare.
yeah,
But it was like endless amounts of content.
yeah. But you still got charged for it.
Oh, but what I'm saying is like GTA 5 came out 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah, no. Admittedly, they did good job with GTA 5. They
and
gave
they-
a lot of free content. Yeah,
Well, and they found like a place where they could make a lot of money off and continue to push content into it. So it's good that they found that.
Yeah, because they're multiplayer, right? They don't charge for DLC for that. Like they
Shit, no.
just released that. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Some new update for it that's like, yeah.
So they've been good, man. Like their track record to me is like just awesome, and they develop the things that I admire in video games. They, animation, modeling, just quality. Their rendering's always been good. The atmosphere in this game looks really good.
Yep.
And what were there things in Red Dead 1 that you hope that they improve in this one?
Horse physics.
Yeah?
Yeah, they had no horse physics.
Horse.
And
Now
what I
describe
mean
to me-
is,
Yeah.
what I mean is, you could get on a horse in first Red Dead, and you could gallop as fast as you could into like a cliff, and then bail, and your horse would kind of just like run up a little bit and then run back down. There was momentum, but it would kind of just like
Right.
run into it. It wouldn't catch itself. It wouldn't fall over and topple or anything.
So what you want is a horse that acts realistically, but only to the extent that you get to control how it acts.
Yeah.
Like a real horse just won't run into a wall.
I think you probably could do that.
Yeah,
Like in real life?
there's a tricky thing because The Witcher has a bit of that. Like, your horse will not fall off a cliff kind of thing.
Mm.
But then the way it's that can get really annoying if you're running across a field and then there's a small enough like dip in the ground that its AI thinks is a cliff and it will stop.
Yeah.
And and it's especially bad in forests because there's like tree stuff all over the stumps all over the place. So you're constantly just stopping and being like and you're
Red Dead was pretty good, where it would automatically jump over that.
oh yeah. The Witcher
Zelda
you have to press jump for the horse, and that's really really annoying.
Huh.
What'd you think of the horses in Zelda?
They were fine.
Nice.
I don't remember trying to take it off a
Perfect
cliff.
score.
Though. I don't remember trying to take it off a cliff.
From what
I
I
mostly
remember,
just rode on the-
They just stop.
I'm pretty sure I just rode on the road because didn't it just follow the road by itself?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had some of that, but
Yeah.
you could like make it jump stuff and all the time,
Yeah.
or whatever. But this is something I think about. This is only sort of tangentially related.
Mm-hmm.
We all live in the city. I think most of us have spent most of our lives in cities or towns. Blake, maybe not so much. You lived in a kind of a small town.
No, I'm a country boy.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you grow up with horses?
Actually, a cool story. No, I wish I could find it, but there's a picture on that came up on Facebook years ago of a shot of the McDonald's in my hometown, and it was the drive-through, and there's a dude on a horse just like
Nice.
going through the drive-through.
Nice.
Yeah, and not far down from where I lived, like there was a family that they lived like quite far out of town, but they just had horses and
Yep.
yeah,
But-
had no car, just horses.
This is something I think about from time to time, which is that like when I watch movies with people riding horses or play games with people riding horses or whatever, the horse is virtually like no different to a bike.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
The person has complete control over it, but in reality, that horse is like
Yeah.
a real living animal.
Well, that's why
with its own
that's why it's good
brain
to see
and
in
desires.
games. That's why it's good to see in the games where a horse won't just jump off a cliff because you tell it to. Like,
But at the same time, this is something I quite liked in Zelda, which is that the horse would sometimes misbehave.
oh yeah, that was quite cool.
And I want to see more horse personality in games, honestly. I like that as an idea of like, you have to get to know your horse a little better before you actually have to adjust your own behaviors based on the horse
There
that
was
you've chosen or whatever.
in Witcher. There's like I'm sure it's more of just like not really a bug, but maybe it's AI not working exactly how they want it to. But sometimes if you're going through an area that doesn't have like a path, the horse tries to find its own path, but will sometimes just end up walking around in kind of like a circle or like in these weird like things, and that's probably not
Not intentional.
the way it's intended, but it
Yeah.
does make it seem like the horse has just a mind of its own, and you're just like hands off the rein, going
That's
just
cool.
wander.
See, I kind of like that. I think
Yeah, but it's also annoying because you're trying to go in one direction and you're fighting against its AI to go in this one direction.
I want a game where because you keep trying to make your horse run into a wall, it turns around and nips you,
That'd be cool.
Just kicks you.
Yeah, or
Boom.
like bucks you off and,
Yeah.
and just like tries to, that I want to see something where the actual minds behind the things in the game are a little more present. Does that make sense?
Yeah. One thing I enjoyed about the trailer
Yeah.
was if you look at older games and you see characters talking, the inside of their mouth would be lit. And
Lit?
Lit.
Like bright.
Yeah, so their tongue would be like a pink and all their teeth would be the same shade.
Yeah.
It was like straight diffuse type
Sure.
stuff. But if you look at this trailer, it's all shadowed correctly. Like their mouth is actually dark.
Uh-huh.
Like you'd expect, right?
Yeah.
And I like that the fidelity's gotten to that level where a guy
You like
will
a
talk.
dark mouth.
I like a dark mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something
That's cool.
I
That's cool.
yeah. So that's cool to see.
You're pretty stoked for this game.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited, man. I've been waiting ever since it was announced.
And before.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were waiting for the announcement.
yeah, since Red Dead 1.
Yeah. Blake, you've been playing some stuff.
Oh man, yeah, I've been playing a couple of things. Yeah, so I saw a couple of indie games that I thought I'd give a go,
Yep.
and one of them is called Morphite.
Yep.
And
Go on.
The reason I bought this, and I'm gonna from now on stop buying games because of this specific sentence, is that the sentence is, "This is what No Man's Sky should have been." And I need to stop buying games that have that in all the reviews, in the Steam reviews. So I bought this game, and it was described as, "This is what No Man's Sky should have been," and it was described as like Metroid meets No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
And so they've got
Now, have you played Metroid before?
no.
Okay. So that didn't.
I know
like-
Metroid is good, so I'm like, oh, it's this good thing meets this thing that I kind of like.
I'm glad you did. Just to clarify, the Metroid was the good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
yeah, and the thing I kind of like is
Kind
No
of
Man's
like
Sky.
is No Man's Sky. Sure.
But yeah, like it's like No Man's Sky where you got this whole galaxy of planets to go to, and you land on. But it was described as they had procedurally generated these planets like in No Man's Sky, but then they'd gone in and handcrafted actually things for you to do. And I thought that sounded cool, but you land down and it's not really procedurally generated. Like it seems like it's all handcrafted, which is fine. But like when you're talking about procedurally generated, I thought, oh, it will be like a pretty decent sized planet with a bunch of interesting stuff on it. But really, it's like a medium to large sized valley
Okay.
with stuff inside, and
you can't leave the valley.
you can't leave the valley. There's invisible
Interesting.
walls
Wow.
along it, so even if you can jump up there, because I was like, oh, maybe if I get outside of these valleys, I can like have a wander around. But no, there's invisible walls up there, so it's like this is the play area. So really, it's like just these different, basically, valleys that you visit.
Yep.
And it's like No Man's Sky. You're scanning stuff and you're shooting things, and there is actually like temples and stuff to explore, and there's some very basic like puzzles and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So it's fine. Like I enjoyed the amount that I played, but like I'm not gonna, like if I'm honest, I'm not really gonna play much more of it.
But it now, because you mentioned this to me a couple days ago.
Yeah.
You said you got this game. And
Yeah.
and that you're having more fun than you were with No Man's Sky, at least initially.
Yeah.
And then I guess the narrow scope.
Yeah, well,
bugged you?
it was because I'd run, like, you do this like short tutorial with this little story, and you run around these like little canyon basically things, and they've got stuff like temples and rivers and trees and animals and stuff. And I was like, all right, this is the tutorial stuff. Once it opens out, then it's going to be the planet stuff.
Of course.
Because you go to...
Why wouldn't you expect that?
Yeah, I don't know. Because it said procedurally generated planet was handcrafted stuff. So I thought procedurally generated planets.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why would they say that? Maybe
I don't know. Maybe to hook in people
is
that
this
like
one of
No
those
Man's
like?
Sky.
Is this a No Man's Sky lie?
Oh, man.
Is this a multiplayer
Well, I
lie?
think maybe like...
Did
I
you see any
just don't
glowing
know.
orbs?
I just don't know why they're calling it procedurally generated, because
yeah, that's-
maybe they've got like there are things I definitely found inside some of these canyons.
Yeah.
Is that some sections were complete copies of other sections, so it might be
in the one canyon.
Yeah.
in the same valley.
yeah. I found like one cave, walked in
Yeah.
there, and then found another cave that was exactly the same. and then I found like an actual area of the canyon where like a little path that you go up to a little like hill.
Yeah.
And I found that exact same copy somewhere out, like 2 minutes away.
That's not good.
So they might be procedurally generated in the like the same way we sort of procedurally generated stuff, where we've got set rooms,
tiles that you snap together, basically.
Yeah, that then can appear in any sort of order. And I have revisited planets, and it is like a different layout.
Right.
So it's procedural in that sense, I guess, but not procedural in the No Man's Sky sense.
Right. It's not like land masses you've never seen before.
Yeah,
because
it's
taken
not
the
like
sea
that.
or
And
whatever.
and describing it as procedurally generated planets with handcrafted content makes you think it's going to be like No Man's Sky,
but with cool stuff to do.
with cool stuff to do.
instead of nothing to do.
So that was kind of a bummer. The more I played it, the more I realized how how small the game kind of was.
Yeah.
But also big at the same time, because there seems to be hundreds of planets.
Yeah, but if they all use the same tiles,
Yep. Yeah, I know.
how much
so,
can there really be to do?
I don't know. I might play a little more and see if anything's different. But like, I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. But that was you said
But
that
the
was
thing
only
is-
$15, right?
Yeah, that was $15.
Versus the
I
$80 from
I don't
Sky.
like hearing about this, man.
Yeah.
I don't. What's the best played out scenario that you could like? Why even bother with this game?
I just want
It would just good advertising.
planets that I can explore and find interesting stuff on. That's all different.
Like, is it a large development team?
It doesn't look like it is.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if it was a large development team.
Okay.
It sounds like No Man's Sky ignited in you a spark for like a
And
hunger for.
And dude, I think it ignited a spark in a
Yeah.
lot of other people too, because all these games that have the reviews saying this is what No Man's Sky should have been, they're all overwhelmingly positive. And
Wow.
this one as well is maybe not overwhelmingly positive, but like mostly positive.
Yeah.
Compared to No Man's Sky, that's like mostly negative.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like it sounds like you now know what you want.
Yeah.
and no one's actually offering.
And I
it.
just need to keep trying to bloody find it.
or make it.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Shit.
I could do that.
Cool, done.
Well, dude, the thing
And
with
what's your game called?
it's called No Person's Sky. What's another word for sky?
At least you're open to multiple genders. At
Oh
least.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So the women see in the other game, women get the sky.
Yeah.
No one gets the sky in your game.
No person's sky.
Oh, no person.
No, you
Animals maybe.
Yeah, you play as everyone's a furry.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
on.
I'd rather not. Okay. We'll save that for off air.
Okay.
It gets too adult after that.
Wow. Like taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Way too taxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, so there was that, and it is what it is. They seem to be doing well though. Like they've got really like positive reviews and stuff. So
What was the other game you played?
the other game I played was called Beat Cop.
We no. I wanted to clarify because you told me about this.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure.
Beat Cop.
To me, it sounds like a dancing game, and I got really excited for like a police-themed dancing, like rhythm game.
like
And I was
like a Crypt of the Necrodancer.
yeah, like how cool would it be to play? Like imagine, like I don't know, a serial crime drama where dance was the mechanic. You know, I don't know. There's something interesting about that, but it's not that, is it?
It's not that. No, it's Beat Cop as like
BEET.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you're all
Yeah, you got to
beats.
make sure that all of the beats are good,
I knew it.
and
Yeah.
you arrest a bad beat.
You're a health and safety inspector.
Yeah.
You've got a really narrow purview.
But it's Beat Cop in the way that you're a. I was gonna say you're a beat cop, but that doesn't make any sense. You're like
You beat up cops.
no, you know how you've got street cops who have like this is your section of
It's your
city
beat.
blocks,
Yeah, yeah.
and this is your beat.
Right.
It's Beat Cop as in that. Like you've
it's not
got
a vegetable, but they don't patrol the vegetables.
no. There's very
It's not-
little
It's one
vegetables in this
huge
game.
vegetable in the city, and that's the one you patrol.
Well, it is. Well, you're in the Big Apple, so it's
Well,
it's
that
more
would
of a
be
fruit.
called Apple Cop.
Yeah,
That's a different game.
yeah. It's not that at all.
Not
It's not that at all.
Okay.
So it's set in the it's inspired by like 1980s cop TV shows and movies like Lethal Weapon or something like that, and it's got like a real cool like 80s soundtrack kind of thing, which is, I admit, is one of the main things that hooked me into this game.
Okay.
But it's pixel, it's a pixel
Pixel art?
2D pixel art game, and you play as like
Now,
this.
question.
Oh boy,
Sorry.
it's
'Cause
not.
you know how
there's
I feel about
There's
this.
no fucking vegetables in this game.
You know how I feel. No, wait, no, this is. You know how I feel about like 8-bit, 16-bit.
Right.
Do they do? I want to see some images of this later. Show me what this looks like, because I want to see if like it has a cool, recognizable, original art
I
style.
think-
or if it just looks like Final Fantasy VI again.
No, it doesn't look like Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
I think it's cool that they've gone with that pixel style because it's set in the 80s, and so it's very much like 80s video games.
Sure.
And you just feel it helps you feel even more in that time period.
Yeah.
But it's an adventure game, and you've got like a city. Well, you've got like one sort of not block, but one road that you patrol.
Yep.
And you checking. You got to do things like checking part cars, and you're issuing tickets, and you're like meeting the locals, and because it's got this whole sense of like community where like
That's cool.
You're the new beat cop. And so the first day you go around and you just introduce yourself to all the like local businesses, and you find out that there's like these Italian mobs that own this pizzeria, and there's these like other like street gang guys that have like a I think their front is like the pawn shop or something like that, and it's starting to hint that like you have to either pick a side or no side at all or something like that, and then there's you've also got like alimony money that you have to pay. So your own pay is not. I don't think it's going to be enough to actually make this like alimony check. So
it sounds a bit like Papers, Please.
It actually does kind of remind me a little bit of Paper Please.
When you're describing it initially, I was like, this sounds a lot like Papers, Please.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that. Where you at the moment, like I think maybe the cop payment is enough to meet my bills.
Yep.
But I'm only on like day 3 or 4 out of like a 1 month period because they've given you a time limit, which is part of the story where you have to like So the story is that you were a detective who kind of bungled a
vegetable investigation.
Oh my god!
Yep.
You kind of bungled up this robbery where you like shot a guy and then you got framed for like stealing a whole bunch of like jewels or something from some senator's house, and you've been like you've been demoted all the way to beat cop.
And then day one, you find out there's a mob in this neighborhood.
Yeah. And then day one, you're like, oh wow, surprise! There's a mob.
Yeah.
It actually is real weird because all your fellow beat cops are calling you rookie when really you're a detective. So you've
already done all that.
You've already done all of this. Like this should be a piece of cake to you, but you're like as the player, you're learning all this for the first time.
Right.
But yeah, I think like you have this like this time limit to sort of solve this crime, which is like about a month.
Yeah.
And I'm only on day like 4 or something. And I think as the things go, I'm going to get more and more things required of me to do each day.
Sure.
That's going to either be like, oh, I'll just take a little bit of money from this mob boss or a little bit of money from these guys, and then before I know it, I'm going to be a dirty cop or something like that, or try to take no money from any of them. And
you're gonna have to make lots of tough decisions.
There's going to be
basically.
tough decisions coming up, and like that kind of stuff is really exciting. And there's like random events that happen on the street. So every day you've got like a to-do list that your sergeant gives you, and the sergeant is like your typical like hard-assed like Samuel L. Jackson type, like always saying motherfucker, like he's great. And he gives you all these things to do, so you have to do these in order to get like a good cop ranking or something.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure exactly what this cop ranking is, but I'm guessing it's good to have a high cop ranking.
Goes from beans to carrots.
Yes. Yeah.
Could you not just knock on these mobs?
Well, they've done no crime yet.
Okay.
Although there was a.
Did you get a sting gun?
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm just a beat cop.
Oh.
That's the thing. I got no power, man. That's above my pay grade. I only get paid like $50 a day or something like that.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like a lot of money.
No. Yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah, there's like random events that will pop up. So you're going along, doing your daily thing, checking on people, and you'll have like a call saying, oh, there's a disturbance at such and such a place, and you'll be like, all right, I'll head over there. And the thing is, they've started on my first day. They would give me the address of the place. So they'd say, there's go meet someone at like Louis Pizza, and it's like 621 or something on the street. So and all the street numbers are clearly visible. But now they're just saying, go to Louis Pizza. So I have to be like, where was that? And you've only got one street to worry about, but still, like if it's a time thing, you could be running in the wrong direction. So it's you have to like get familiar with your beat.
Okay.
You know, just like you do when you're making a salad, you get familiar with your beat.
Okay.
I don't know how you make a salad.
You don't get familiar with.
Not that familiar.
Okay.
I don't like to name the things that I eat.
I
It's
do.
a pretty good
Makes me
rule.
feel powerful.
Okay.
But yeah, then these random things will pop up, and then there was one where I got a call to go to this diner, so I started heading off to the diner, and then I got another call that there's a dead body in an alley, and I had to choose which one was more important. I chose the dead body.
Which one are you gonna go get that coffee that you wanted, or
Yeah. Well, there was
Check out that
there was
crime that
something
occurred.
like a robbery or an altercation at this diner, and then I got a call that a dead body had been found in an alley. So I went to the alley, and it just happens to be outside the pizza place of this mob boss, and the mob boss is like, I don't know what happened. And it's just like, there's suspicious
Pretty
stuff
lazy-
happening going on here.
lazy crime? If it's the mafia boss, you don't think you want to move it outside your restaurant, maybe like a little further away?
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like I'm really liking it so far, a lot more than that Morphite game.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it does sound much more interesting.
And that soundtrack, it's got that awesome 80s like soundtrack. And right at the start of the game, it's clearly from the developers saying, this is the game that we're making. It's based on, the TV shows we grew up watching. Even though this stuff is like unrealistic or whatever, it's still bloody fun.
Yep.
And so they're just doing it.
Is this still in development?
No, which is
Okay.
great. That's why I bought it. I'm against early access now.
Okay, and Morphite.
Nope, Morphite is out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
When was the last time you bought an early access?
It was the last time I talked about an early access on the podcast. That was that Osiris game from probably like last year.
Yep. Sand snakes or whatever.
Okay, the reason I bought that game
Oh yeah, I remember.
is because in the reviews it said this is what No Man's Sky should have been,
Shit.
which has now led me
Yeah.
to believe I should definitely not
Yep.
buy games that say that.
If people are making games, that's all you need to say apparently to get Blake's money.
Yeah, just like that's the title of a game and I'll buy it.
Yep. What No Man's Sky should have been.
What No Man's Sky should have been. I'll be like, oh damn guys, this is what No Man's Sky should have been.
It's just a driving,
Yeah.
like a racing sim or something.
Oh yeah, and there's something I actually saw this morning that haven't played, but I'm hoping that we'll probably talk about on the next podcast.
Yeah.
Cuphead's out.
Yes, I saw that as well. I didn't realize it.
No, neither. I just saw it this morning.
I probably need to buy a controller if I'm going to get that game.
Oh,
right?
you
It's
better get
probably
one,
not a
yeah.
keyboard and mouse game.
I want to hear about this game. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I wanna
check
play
out
that
footage.
game. I might get it tonight or tomorrow or something.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's on Steam, right?
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Dope. Cool.
Oh yeah, and I don't suppose you know if Red Dead is coming to PC or not.
Nope.
No, it's not, or no, you don't know.
No, it's not coming out on PC. They haven't said anything. It's just
Oh, well.
Yes,
Oh,
it'll
that's
come
fine.
out. It'll
come out just like Red Dead 1 came out on PC.
Which it
GTA
didn't.
5 came out on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I reckon it'll come out. I think that they probably got some exclusivity deals, and
Yeah.
then those.
See, that's the thing. Well, what would you recommend? Do I wait for it maybe coming to PC, or do I just get it on
I think it would be like a year minimum before it comes out on
Right.
PC.
Yeah,
If-
it'll be a
if-
while.
If it even does come out on PC.
You've sold me on it now.
Well, you've got a console, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I've got a console.
Yep.
Yeah, why is this even a debate for you?
Well,
Like,
I'd rather if something comes out on PC, I'd rather play it on PC.
interesting. Why? Even though, like, potentially...
You know, PC Master Race and all
Yeah,
that.
okay, sure, that's fair.
Well, what's weird is like there is so much per dollar value in like a Rockstar game. I don't understand how people need to like justify spending $100 on like
Yeah.
a Rockstar game.
Yeah. I mean,
when it offers like
How many times did you
thousands
buy GTA 5?
of- Dude, I would have brought it like 10 more times. I've had so much enjoyment out of that.
if there was a Switch version, would you have a Switch right now?
No, but that's how much I hate Nintendo.
Oh.
Man, I don't... I hate Nintendo's ability to ruin hardware. Like, by just... Man, their games are so good, though. Odyssey's coming out in October.
Yeah, I want to like them, Nick. Like, I really want to like
You didn't
Nintendo.
play Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was a magical experience.
You should lend Saveun.
It's not gonna happen.
My broken Wii U. Yeah, all right. You want to borrow my broken Wii U? That
No,
doesn't
man. The last Nintendo console that was good to me was the N64. No, that was
It's a good console. The GameCube was pretty good.
Oh shit! No, yeah, GameCube. Because I've got one.
Yeah,
And
there were some great games on that.
Yep.
There's some great games on the Wii as well.
Harvest Moon, Resident Evil 4.
Yep. Pikmin,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Mario Sunshine is fantastic. I have yet to play a bad 3D Mario game. Like, they've all been amazing, and that's why
Odyssey?
next month. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm gonna play the hell out of that game.
I think I asked you before, but are you going to rebuy Zelda for the Switch?
Probably, yeah. For those who don't know, I don't know if I've discussed this on the podcast. I lent Blake my Wii U, and then suspiciously
Wait, we talked about this last week.
did we?
Yeah.
And then
On
it broke.
the
I mean,
podcast?
last-
yeah, and it broke. Well, it just doesn't work. We don't know what the cause is. There are some solutions I could look into, but
Should have left it here.
ultimately, what I really wanted, I wanted to buy, huh?
You should have left it here.
Yeah. What I wanted to do was I wanted to buy the DLC for Breath of the Wild,
Right.
because there's like a hard mode, and like they're putting out like a super long dungeon and all this stuff. And I was, that game's like probably one of my favorite games of all time. So I just wanted to sit down and play hard mode and put another 120 hours into it.
What is hard mode?
My understanding is it's like right now the world is quite carefully designed to put like the hardest enemies in locations that you probably won't encounter unless you're sort of going out of your way. I think they've removed some of those restrictions, and it's just more challenging in general. I think it's just like harder enemies in more locations, and I don't. Maybe there's like fewer weapons. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they do it in an interesting way. I haven't really looked into it. This is one of those things where I'm probably going to enjoy it, so I just don't really research it because I think the surprise element is going to be enjoyable. But yeah, no, I probably will. If I get a Switch, I'll probably end up buying that game again because that game's awesome.
Yeah, if you say so.
And I do.
And they do some cool shit. I've given it props.
You should play it if and when I get it. Just borrow it for a while.
No, it won't. It won't
Why?
happen. We're talking about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
No, not interested.
but
It's such a pain to look at.
see, I love the way that game looks. I think it's so beautiful. Anyway, how much time we got? I think we're probably out of time, right?
Do we have time for a
I
question?
think we got one.
All right.
We can. say something.
Should I ask?
What do you got?
I want to ask this one from Dougal.
Okay.
Hey guys, my local fish and chip shop does Italian scones. They are
Wow.
deep fried calzones. The first bite will scald flesh. Second bite is delicious. Everything after that makes you realize it's 90% oil.
Yeah.
And how badly you want an hour-long shower afterwards.
Oh man, dude.
Would recommend.
Yep.
Cheers, Dougal.
There's a Korean pancake place down the road that is like that, where, especially if you get the cheese ones that are filled with cheese, and it's just like molten hot for half an hour. But every minute you keep taking a bite, being like, nope, too hot. And then you'll wait a while and be like, maybe now. Nope. No,
There's like a
too hot.
20-second time period where it's good, and then it just congeals, and then
Yeah.
it's no longer good anymore. Oh man, I think we should do a food podcast. We've talked about it. I think it's going to happen. write in if you want to hear us do a food podcast. I think we should get Ash involved in it as well. By the way, this is just a thought I've had on the podcast. Putting you guys on the spot right now.
Which Ash?
Who sits near me? The artist. Ash.
Oh, okay. What?
UI designer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, and he loves food.
Awesome.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's a foodie.
Wow.
Yeah,
What
he
a
was.
coincidence.
He was.
I eat food as well.
he was very drunk at GDC and ranting to me about how good all of this food.
Oh, we
was.
had you might not have heard of this, Sav, but at the end of during the GDC after party, we got into a very heated debate, a whole bunch of us, about pork versus steak,
Yep.
and which is better.
Yeah.
Um,
Obviously pork, right?
I went pork. I'm going pork just
pork.
based on nutrition.
Yep.
What do you got?
I'm a steak all the way.
All right. But you just love
This is-
colon cancer?
Is this another hot or cold pizza question? I think it might be.
I don't eat cold steak.
No, I'm saying. My God, Blake. Is
Well,
it
but
pork
you
or
get it.
steak? If the choice is pork or steak,
Steak.
pork.
I'm a pork.
Right. So we've got another hot or cold pizza.
I think Ash, he was steak. wasn't
No,
he?
Ash was
no,
pork.
No, Ash was pork.
Ash was
Oh, man,
100%
I'm
pork.
surrounded by these bloody.
No,
These
George,
swine mother-
George and Cam were steak, and there's some other
Yeah.
big dumb steak idiots. Steak heads.
Steak is great. Steak is great.
You know what?
I'd rather
If-
be a steak head
we
than
want
a
to
pork
hear.
belly.
We want to hear what you think of this question. Do you prefer pork or steak? If you can have a beautifully cooked piece of pork or a beautifully cooked steak,
Crackling.
ooh,
Shit.
that saltiness. That natural
Another thing
saltiness.
is that
oh my goodness.
Nick gets so excited talking about food. You've never heard it before. We may have got it on like tape, but just haven't like
Yeah.
had it on the podcast. but
We've had a few like intros and outros that is just Nick talking about
Oh my
food.
God, I love food so much.
Yep.
I love food so much. All right. Email us porksteak at frontseatquestions@gmail.com. You can tweet at frontseatcast. Hashtag pork or hashtag steak.
By the way, we're still working on this special guest. It's been a long time coming. Hopefully,
Which
it'll
one?
be-
There's
Well,
like
I've been
so many
I've been
choices.
working. Yeah. Well, I've been working on a super special guest.
Is it me?
No,
No.
You said,
I think it's me.
you said super special.
Super special.
Yeah, what kind of special?
Super.
Yeah, that sounds like me. No?
I hate to break it to you.
Oh, no.
But still working on it, fellas. Hang in there.
Fellas. There could be girls who listen to this. Maybe.
I use it as like a unisex type
Okay.
thing. Sort of like guys. I use that.
Yeah.
Guys is really becoming a gender neutral word now.
Yeah, you can't really get away with calling. You can't go.
Gals.
Hey, gals.
Hey, gals. What are you
What's up,
doing?
girls? What up, my girls? Nope, doesn't work. All right, Facebook.com/frontseatcast. You can talk to us on there. You can also go to our frontseatgamer.wordpress.com site and leave comments there. You should rate us on iTunes and tell your friends. We've also got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/frontseatcast. We're part of the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. That's hashtag AGP on Twitter. They've got a Facebook page. You should just check it out. Thank you for Leanne for our logo and Andrew for our music. And we'll be back in a couple weeks. Bye.
See ya.
Reminded me of a guy I knew in Australia who didn't. He looked like a guy I knew in Australia and talked like a different guy I knew in Australia. Yeah.
Holy shit. So were you just insanely confused then?
Yeah, I thought I was in Australia.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I get here? And how did those two people collide
You started asking about what their thong policy was.
instead of jandals? Is that your
Yep.
pickup?
Feel like, can I come in here with my thong on, with my esky under my arm?
You
and
say that
Maduro?
like jandal is less silly a word than thong.
Jandal is.
I'm sorry to tell you
Jandal is
this.
equally stupid. No,
No.
Jandal is not equally stupid. Jandal is stupid.
Yeah, it's
but not as
stupider.
stupid as.
No, no.
It's definitely not. It's definitely stupider.
If
than-
someone said jandal
Yeah.
and you had no, like, okay, picture you don't know what a jandal is.
It's hard to take
Erase
the man.
your knowledge of
All
jandals
right,
from your
hold on.
mind.
Okay, done.
Where can I get jandals? You can't answer that question because you don't know what the fuck a jandal is.
But wouldn't you
Yeah.
be laughing if some dude asked you, "Hey man, I need some thongs"?
Yeah. I
I'd be like-
I really need a thong. I got a real bad thong rash.
if someone's asking me for a thong, yeah, then I'll be like, why
Dude,
why are you asking me?
one of my thongs blew out. I need another thong. I need one thong because one of my thongs blew out. I stepped on a rock.
The rubber bung of my
Yeah.
thong.
The bung on my thong just broke. I need where can I get a thong bung?
Right. If someone asked me where can I get a thong bun, I would, yeah, sure. Fair point. In this scenario, that's pretty funny.
See, if somebody asks you where can I get a jandal bung, you would just be you would just be confused. You would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But if someone asks you where can I get a thong bun, you would be like, I think this is a pervert.
I'm pretty sure I would think a jandal bung is a perverted thing as well.
Not
If someone said, "Oh, my jandals," I'd be like,
oh, my jandals.
Your balls? Like,
My
it definitely
jandals
sounds
right
like
in the
balls,
jandals.
right? It definitely sounds like balls.
It does not.
Sounds 100%
It absolutely
like balls.
doesn't. The jandal, right in the jandals.
If you think jandals sounds like balls, tweet at @FriendSeatCast #balls. No, all right. How do we sound?